So, this is our group final report. First, sources. We take 3 nearly month dataset for the mining, and because external inference were not too obvious, and the total number is almost goes to 19,000. It has 32 independent variable, and we take if there has any casualties as the target. And our goal is to predict is in what situation will cause more damage to the people or not. These are the variable means.
My name is Ye Zhiyuan, and I will going to introduce data preprocessing. Because our research goal is to predict what kind of road condition, driver's driving conditions, such as whether to use cell phone while driving, vehicle impact part, weather condition, accident cause. So we remove some variables such as latitude and longitude of accident. Also, we remove fields with the same meaning. And this is the code. Then we combine the dead and injured columns into casualties. If the number of casualties is greater than 1, it means there are casualties. Otherwise, it means there are no casualties. We discretize the hour column into 4 groups at equal intervals, so as speed limit. In addition, we use label encoder to encode the category variables in order to avoid too many fields caused by one hard encoder. And finally, we split the data into training dataset and test dataset with a ratio of 20%. And this is a code. After data preprocessing, we select attribute, and we found that the correct rate of all variables and selected variables are the same, equals to 96%. These are the 4 attributes we selected from a decision tree. From high to low, they were drinking situation, road category, accident type, and vehicle impact location. And I will continue to report on the decision tree made in R. In the training dataset, when m equals to 2, the correct rate of all variables is 0.9640. And in the testing dataset, when m equals to 3, the correct rate of all variables is 0.9569. And in the training dataset, when m equals to 2, the correct rate of selected variables is 0.9605. And in the testing dataset, when m equals to 10, the correct rate of selected variables is 0.9623. We can see when m is 7, 8, 9, 10, the correct rate are equal. In order to simplify the model and prevent overfitting, we choose m equals to 10.
Next, I will report on the decision tree made in Python. In the training dataset, when m is equal to 10, the correct rate of all variable is 0.9589. In the testing dataset, when m is equal to 7, the correct rate of all variable is 0.9653. In the training dataset, when m is equal to 10, the correct rate of select variable is 0.9589. In the testing dataset, when m is equal to 7, the correct rate of select variable is 0.9653. Here is a table summarizing the training and testing accuracy for all variables and select variables using RWK and Python. In the case of using the Python model, both using all variables and select variable result in a better testing accuracy. In the case of using the RWK model, using all variables resulted in a better training accuracy. So we use R to train the model with all variables, using training data and visualize the decision tree. Because there are too many rows that cannot be seen clearly with picture, we use text as an example. When drinking status is not drinking, and the driver's license type is commercial vehicle, the prediction will be casualties. When drinking status is not drinking, the driver's license type is passenger car, and the accident type and mode is side swipe, same direction. The prediction will be no casualties. Our optimistic approach is 0.9640, and the number of lives is 430. So pessimistic approach is 0.9524.
My name is Liu Zhiyu. What I want to introduce is association rules. The following is a result of using Python and R. In Python, when the mean sparse equals from 0.1 to 0.7 and mean confidence equals from 0.1 to 1, there will be an error because of insufficient RAM. So I tried 4 settings. Set mean sparse to 0.8 and 0.9, mean confidence to 0.7 and 1. However, the results of a test can only find a row that the target variable is equal to 1, which means that there are causalities, but there is no way to find a row where the target variable is equal to 0. I also tried resampling, use the same parameters, but again we can't find any rows. So I tried it with 4 select important variables, but there is still no way to find the rows that the target variables is equal to 0. So I used resampling. And this time, I can finally find a row for all categorical target variables. The first row means that when the data set is alcohol-free and the road category is an urban road, whether there is a death or injury dataset may appear. And the following is the following list of a row. And the supposed confidence and lift of a row are listed below. The second rule is that only when the dataset road category is urban road, whether there is a death or injury-free dataset may appear, and the supposed confidence and lift of a road are listed below. In R, no road can be found regardless of whether select variables are used or whether resampling is used.
The sixth part is SVN optimal model. In this part, we will customize 4 different parameter values. The first parameter value is C equals 0.1. After building the model, we know that the accuracy rate is 0.7539. The second parameter value is C equals 0.4. Accuracy rate is 0.7865. The third parameter value is C equals 0.7. Accuracy rate is 0.7916. The fourth parameter value is C equals 1. Accuracy rate is 0.79. After building these 4 models, we want to find the best model rather than randomly select 4 different parameter values. So we use loop to find optimal parameter value. In this loop, we set the range of C from 0.1 to 1, which interval is 0.01. As a result, we find that the accuracy rate is 0.7919. Here is a comparison of different models. It can be seen from chart that the model which is built by loop has the best accuracy rate. The seventh part is random forest optimal model. Similarly, we will customize 4 different parameter values. The first parameter value is an estimator equal 10. Accuracy rate is 0.9305. The second parameter value is an estimator equal 60. Accuracy rate is 0.9666. The third parameter value is an estimator equals 120. Accuracy rate is 0.9661. The fourth parameter value is an estimator equals 180. Accuracy rate is 0.9672. We also use loop to find optimal parameter values and find that the accuracy rate is 0.9677. Above is a chart of comparison of different models, and the model which is built by loop has the best accuracy rate.
KNN. As you can see, I take a loop as a way to find best case which range will be in 1 to 100, and the answers for the best case will be the 19, and the correct rate will be about 96.39%. And now I will discuss why I pick up 1 to 100 and why not 1 to 1000. As the picture, you can see now case range will be in the 1 to 1000. And the red curve line, which you have seen when k equals maybe 1 or 2 or 3, it will go up when it comes to 19. And over 19, it will decline slowly in this case. This is the reason why I choose this range. And another reason is if k is too large, it will overcost, then I will lose the purpose to use KNN to predict. But this just for the test data. If for train data, there will be another result and another discuss. because for the train data, when k equals 1, we'll have a highest correct rate.
This part is about hard and soft voting, and we use random forest as VC and KN as voting models. The only parameter is njobs equals to -1. Hard voting is a classification method where the final prediction is determined by the majority vote of individual classifiers. And soft voting, on the other hand, is a classification technique where the final prediction is based on average probability score. The class with the highest probability is selected as the final prediction. And the results are shown that hard voting has a 0.969 accuracy and the soft voting have a 0.9669 accuracy. Each of these models have shown its strength and weakness. Combining them through hard voting allows us to leverage their individual capabilities. In summary, the best one is still hard voting. This part is the best classification prediction model for the dataset, and we can see that hard voting is still the highest accuracy rate, 0.9690.
What I would like to report is hierarchical grouping and analysis. By using hierarchical grouping, it can be found that the line of 5 groups is the most obvious, so I use 5 groups. And then I would like to report K-means. In the steep slope graph, it can be found that after 5 groups, the decline started relatively small, but after the 70th group, the decline was not obvious, so I think it is recommended to divide it into 5 to 7 groups, so I use 7 groups. After grouping, it is found that the SSE of the steep slope map is smaller than the hierarchical SSE, and the result is good, so we choose K equal to 7 to group. According to the outline of each category, I name these 7 groups respectively: intersection, collision, accidents, without waiting for passengers to safely get on and off driving accidents, and right turn accidents and fatigue, driving out of control, reversing collisions and driving out of control accidents after changing lanes to the left, and smoking prohibited objects accidents that did not give way in accordance with the regulations, and starting without paying attention to the safety pursuit of other vehicles, and right-turning accidents that did not let the car reverse in accordance with the regulations. Finally, the correct rate calculated by using the majority of each category, as the prediction category is 0.95, which is quite high.
This part is the best classification prediction model for the dataset, and we can see that hard voting is still the highest accuracy rate, 0.9690. This part is the suggestion and conclusion. The definition of collinearity is when 2 or more independent variables exhibit high correlation, leading to adverse effects on main influencing factor and consequently affecting the target variable. Although collinearity usually doesn't directly impact the result of a decision tree model, it may have some influence on the importance and interpretability of features. In other words, when a variable has little variation, there is no difference in accuracy of before and after selecting variables. This may be the reason why we obtain extremely high accuracy rate. Suggestion is, it is advisable for Taichung City Government Policy Department to include more important continued variables related to individuals of accidents when collecting data. For example, variables such as impact speed of force during the accident can potentially affect the severity of injuries, and those can be calculated. Assessing the age and responsible party in relation to their driving experience could also be considered. Additionally, the car price may be associated with socio-economic status or income. These additions would be contribute to a better predictive outcome.